and it's broken.
When you tell me you're proud of me, I think of my father, sir.
Mr. Lee, I am so sorry. I failed you.
Hey fellow nerds, if you're into comic books like I am, then you definitely know the name Stan Lee. And there's one time when Marvel wasn't doing so hot, and out of desperation, Stan Lee tried to kick off a reality TV show. This is that story. In 2006, it's really when the Sci-Fi Channel became f***ing lit. And yes, I do mean the Sci-Fi Channel, as in the Science Fiction Channel, and not whatever the fuck sci-fi is. Transitioning from a channel that your dad would watch heavy TV edits of horror movies on, to one with respectfully decent shows. I'm talking Stargate, SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, Ghost Hunters, motherfucking Eureka, and of course, the creme a la crop, Battlestar Galactica. And amongst these giants, a reality show starring Stan the Man Leeman. It's hard to imagine a time when people didn't really care too much about the newest Marvel property. The likes of Elektra, and the Fantastic Four, and X-Men The Last Stand. The only logical next steps was to give this elderly old man his own show. Everyday people embarrassing themselves for prizes that are probably not worth the physical and mental toll that a series like this can take on a person.
My name is Ice Bitch.
And what about a catchphrase?
Freeze, mother.
As the grand prize for winning the competition is starring in your very own Dark Horse comic book. Notice how I said Dark Horse and not Marvel there. As well as a role on a upcoming sci-fi original film. That's sure to lead to many opportunities. Yes, the film was made, but I won't tell you what it is until the end of our little journey here, so you're gonna have to keep in tune. A reality show is only as good as its contestants. Sympathetic individuals with the capacity to create either cringe and/or drama.
This is not a conjugal visit.
Auditions were held in Los Angeles in 2004 with hopes of shopping the series to MTV. MTV said, "Nah, we're good, dog." 2 years later, the series was picked up by the Sci-Fi Channel with Stan Lee hosting. By hosting, I mean pre-recording all of his lines from a chair at his home office. The dude was like 90 years old, even back then. He can't be running around LA with all these idiots. The producers tried to work around this technological barrier by just pretending that 2006 Palm Pilots could just video screen HD video. I can see why the series landed on the Sci-Fi Channel, because it's straight up f***ing fiction.
Over in the corner, there's a box with your own personal communicator in it. So cool!
When I got my communicator, I was like, this is insane. And I mean, I've been wanting one of these since I was a kid. Just to like hold it in my hand. Oh, this is so awesome.
Our main players consist of Levity, Nitro G, Cell Phone Girl, and speaking of unsolicited pics, the Iron Enforcer, Monkey Woman, Ty Viculus, Preacher, Major Victory, Fat Mama, and Feedback. Not to forget, fans pick Lemuria.
Stan decided to have a little fun, so he let the sci-fi.com fans choose the final contestant. And they chose me. So, I'm not gonna let them down.
I, for the love of me, cannot see why the fans would vote for Lemuria over countless of other individuals who are more qualified than her. Oh, and did I forget our last and very least contestant, Rotiart, which is traitor spelled backwards.
Rodiart, spelled backwards, is traitor.
This exposes the contestants to their true personalities, something this show actually isn't really too interested in exploring. Stan Lee asks his little snitch traitor to give him 3 names of the biggest offenders. Should Stan Lee send home the guy who has expressed wishes to murder and is excited by the idea of murder?
So you can choose when it goes out.
Yes, depending on each person that I want to kill.
Why do you want to kill people?
After I leave this house, I'm on my mission to the Middle East.
Or will Stan Lee send home
I make custom action figures.
Do you make yourself as an action figure?
Yes.
Oh, this is kind of a clever way. Like, you become an action hero on this show, and then you sell action figures of yourself.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
he works at an action figure shop and he just wants to get his own action figure? There's nothing wrong with making a buck.
I understand. You have a toy shop and you hope to make millions on your character.
Just be careful, guys. Watch what you say.
We're here to make the profits, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of this show.
I'm really disappointed that I'm not going to be able to continue on. I'm going to have to go home and tell everybody that I was the first person kicked off.
Next challenge is one that tests both practicality and perception. Find a place of change and then run to the finish line. It's a sprint to the finish. But there's a twist.
What a twist!
On the way to the finish line, the crew had placed a lost girl.
I want my mom!
How many of our heroes will stop to help her? 4 of them did, and 5 of them, not so much. Winning a foot race as a costume hero is much more important than helping a little girl who may never see her mom again. This girl changed in a garbage can and then cracked her whip as she gleefully ran past the little girl, even making eye contact for a second. What a fucking psychopath. This girl tried to change in a garbage can, but opted for the bush instead. This girl gave a very special treat to the camera and this one guy. Of course, I must mention Ty Viculus, who pushed the porta potty forward and changed behind it instead of going inside the porta potty to change. Episode 2, pits. Episode 2 pits our heroes against one another when they have to anonymously roast each other.
All he has to do is wash under his arms and put on some deodorant.
This is what I gotta say. Whatever. I don't care what people think about me.
Iron Enforcer admits to proudly taking steroids.
If steroids are used for a positive thing, I think it's a good thing, no?
Yes, this is the same guy who dresses with a giant gun and wishes to shoot people.
After I leave this house, I'm on my mission to the Middle East.
For some reason, it's Fat Mama, this beautiful f***ing angel that she is, who gets put under scrutiny.
Do you really think that a fat superheroine would be a good role model for children?
I know for a fact that it was the skinny little vegan bitch that called her out.
I'm a raw foodist, and I drive a waste vegetable oil car. This is my opportunity to show lots of people options.
Everyone needs a fat mama. Fat mamas make you feel like you're the most perfect version of yourself to ever exist. They don't shame children into eating better, you trash can whore.
Don't try to look like the pictures in the magazine. Don't try to look like your friend. That's what makes you who you are.
They get absolutely pummeled by attack dogs, which is something that we shouldn't allow, except for Creature getting absolutely destroyed in the face of these dogs, being thrown up for elimination for the sin of...
You were laughing every step of the way. You were laughing every step of the way. It's one thing to laugh in the face of danger, not when you're failing to accomplish your goal.
Peter Parker never told a fucking joke in his life. Now, Stan Lee's qualifications for choosing who gets to be put up for elimination start to become arbitrary as the season goes on.
You got pretty far, but then you let the dogs drag you right back to where you started. A little strategy might have come in handy there.
In the latter half of the episode, when all the remaining heroes get an upgrade to their costume. Most of the costumes consist of small improvements. Ty Viculus is giving a ridiculous upgrade to his gladiator-themed outfit. complete with chili pepper shoulder pads and a pitch black mohawk shooting out of a satin silky helmet, looking more like a Roman stripper than a superhero if you ask me. Even fucking Stan Lee knows it's awful, and he's designed...
I don't know. That's not exactly the way I had envisioned it. What do you think, Tyveculus?
Today, my fantasy's been fulfilled. I am a superhero. No. By the source of light, I am Tyveculus. Yes.
But Ty Dolla $ign, for some reason, acts proud and honored to be wearing it. This reads a little bit scripted, like it has to be.
It's not ever okay for a superhero to be laughed at. I'd like you to go back and put your original costume back on.
Now I'm worried that somehow I've let Stan down.
That's not his fault for trying to be nice. In fact, I think superheroes should have a little bit of humility. We never get a sense of the characters outside of the challenges. We just have to imagine their personalities and their interactions, making it a little weird when they start to cry.
My spirit is broken. When you tell me you're proud of me, I think of my father, sir.
Mr. Lee, I am so sorry. I failed you.
The turning point comes when Roid Rage gets eliminated for being just a terrible hero.
This is what I gotta say. Whatever. I don't care what people think about me.
But what the fuck does this giant pile of plastic on your arm do in the competition? After his elimination, we're treated to a little teaser of the Iron Enforcer being recruited by Stan Lee to become the supervillain Dark Enforcer. Stan, you only appear on TV monitors. You constantly put the heroes in danger. Now, I'm not here to tarnish the man's legacy, but in episode 3, Stan literally lets the supervillain into the secret lair without warning the heroes. He has a fucking gun, Stan. And even worse, he is trying to act.
Here, right here.
Tyveculus, you're a joke. I don't like any of you.
What? That's not true.
Good thing he didn't win to get the Sci-Fi original production. Episode 3 is kind of a dud. I couldn't help but to notice though, that fan pick favorite Lemuria got a third costume change. It's a little more breezy in the everyone puts themselves up for elimination except for Tyveculus.
And you conquering your fear today, it's what I had to do too. I'm scared of heights.
I love you all, and I think you'll do amazing.
You're gonna risk your life for an abandoned structure.
I wasn't gonna risk my life.
I will
was
get
talking
the reason I
figuratively.
came up here is because you will definitely get an opportunity to justify your actions and what you said. But I'm telling you, that's why I came up here. You have to understand your limitations.
Episode 4, our heroes get ratted on by their closest friends and family, which Stan, you're broadcasting their loved ones to all the villains to see. And their family members have even less integrity, gleefully snitching on their heroes.
I think his new name should be Captain Clutter.
You're a slob at home?
My wife said I could have one room to mess up.
Stan Lee harps on our beautiful Queen Mama because she was once self-conscious.
Your message from day one has been that you're proud of your body, but now I hear the opposite. You're constantly going on diets. I'm confused.
Why don't you come down from your ivory tower, Stan, and say it to her face, motherfucker? Our final 3, Fat Mama, Major Victory, and Feedback, doing something constructive to the entire point of the series. They must win over a room full of children. Presumably that's a demographic for this type of shit. Feedback goes way too deep into lore. He's put a lot of time into this, like too much time into this. It's probably his goal to get legitimized so he can go into the streets and fight actual crime.
But what happened is, when I wore the suit and I played video games, I got the powers of the video games.
Major Victory tries to flex on these children by bragging about all his powers that he obviously can't show them.
Couldn't do this like this fast, that fast, get back over to you, that fast if my hair was like this.
As opposed to Fat Mama, who wins the hearts and minds of everyone, focusing on her message more than her powers.
not to fight someone because they call you a name. You have to first learn to like yourself.
She is a mama. Some might say they're the true heroes. Finally, the season ends with the absolute insane challenge that tops everything we've seen thus far. Except we have seen it.
They'll face situations that will test their courage, like attempting to...
Stunts. Completely safe, mundane stunts cut together in just a beautiful green screen effect.
Fat Mama! With a single bite of a donut, she can grow 5 times her size.
They're then strutted all over Universal City Walk where the crowd goes crazy. They're so enthusiastic, in fact, that the people clapping off screen is making up for all these other people in frame who are clearly not yelling and clapping. Stan Lee climbs out of his office to crown Feedback the winner in an absolute upset for Fat Mama, though something tells me she's gonna be just fine. Feedback, however, loses his goddamn shit. This day marks the moment which he changes, going from no one to someone. Someone who is sure to have a lucrative career as a self-made superhero. Feedback did make his feature film debut in the sci-fi original Mega Snake, where he appears on screen for a total of 65 seconds.
Time for some feedback! Let's go!
But what about that Dark Horse comic series, you ask? Well, it was made as a single issue handed out for free comic book day that mostly serves as an advertisement for season 2. But we must save that for another day because I have exhausted my voice. What can we take away from Who Wants to Be a Superhero? The prize is not the reward, it's just an incentive to force competition. However, unlike most fame-horde-riddled reality series, Fat Mama taught us true lessons of humility, self-love, and acceptance of oneself. We can all benefit from being a little more like Fat Mama.
Fat Mama, I'm here to save the day. Fat Mama, I'll take your food away.
I'm Grayson Todd. Thank you for watching this video. I had a lot of fun. I love my patrons. You guys are great. You too. Talking to you right now. Watch some good shit. Stay swazzy. Toodles.